Admiral Kevin Riley stood silently at the window of his flagship, observing the newly arrived fleet from Earth, small and unimpressive compared to the vast Alliance armada surrounding them. The human ships looked outdated. Beside him, Commander Emma Lewis shook her head with disbelief. "They expect us to rely on this?" Emma whispered, her voice edged with doubt. Kevin sighed. "I suppose every little bit helps. Still, I can't see how they'll contribute much." The Planetary Alliance, made up of powerful civilizations from across the galaxy, had come together to resist the aggressive Draconian Empire. Each member race possessed vast resources and advanced technology. Yet here was Earth, a small planet from an insignificant solar system, contributing troops and ships that appeared primitive at best. Captain Dylan Brooks stepped from the shuttle onto the Alliance flagship. Tall, sturdy, and calm, Dylan did not seem bothered by the skeptical glances he received. With him was Sergeant Olivia Martinez, alert and composed, carefully observing the alien crew around her. They were immediately met by Lieutenant Sophia Adams, the Alliance liaison officer. "Welcome aboard," Sophia greeted them politely, although her eyes reflected uncertainty. "Thank you, Lieutenant," Dylan replied warmly. "We look forward to working together." Sophia led them through corridors bustling with activity, filled with alien officers from numerous worlds. Many stopped briefly to stare at the humans, whispering quietly among themselves. Dylan remained poised, showing no reaction, though Olivia's gaze subtly hardened, wary of potential disrespect. In the main strategy room, Admiral Riley and Commander Lewis waited. The Admiral stepped forward first, his expression professional, but skeptical. "Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez," he began formally, "your arrival has been noted. Frankly, we were expecting more substantial forces." "Respectfully, Admiral," Dylan spoke clearly, confidently, "our people have learned to do a great deal with limited resources. You'll find we are capable of surprising effectiveness." Emma raised an eyebrow skeptically, but remained silent, observing the humans carefully. "Very well," Admiral Riley conceded. "We'll assign your unit to a secondary outpost. The Draconians have probed the area several times, but we don't anticipate serious conflict." "Understood," Dylan acknowledged. "We'll show you what we're capable of, Admiral." Assigned quarters near the shuttle bay, Dylan and Olivia prepared their team quickly. Their small group, though lightly equipped by Alliance standards, moved efficiently and with confidence. Dylan briefed his team, emphasizing the importance of discipline and unity. "They underestimate us," he reminded them calmly. "That's our advantage. Let's keep it that way for now." Days passed uneventfully at the outpost, but the humans trained diligently. The other Alliance soldiers watched curiously, unsure what to make of the rigorous human exercises. Sergeant Martinez drilled her troops relentlessly, ensuring they mastered every detail of their modest equipment and understood their roles perfectly. Then, one evening, an urgent alert sounded across the outpost. Draconian ships were detected. On approach, their intentions clearly hostile. Dylan reacted swiftly, calmly ordering his team to battle stations. The Draconian forces quickly landed, believing the small outpost lightly defended. Dylan's unit, concealed carefully among rocks and trenches, observed the enemy soldiers advancing carelessly. Confident of victory. At Dylan's silent command, the humans sprang their carefully prepared ambush. Accurate, rapid fire, and clever. Maneuvering quickly confused and disrupted the Draconian attackers. The aliens, caught completely off guard, fell into panic and chaos. Alliance observers, monitoring the battle remotely, watched with growing amazement as the humans efficiently pushed back the enemy. Sergeant Martinez, cool and precise, directed a devastating counterattack. Within minutes, the surprised Draconians retreated, leaving behind their fallen and injured. Returning to the flagship later, Dylan faced Admiral Riley and Commander Lewis. Once more, his uniform slightly dust-covered but his demeanor calm. "Captain Brooks," Admiral Riley began, more respectfully this time, "your unit performed remarkably well." "Thank you, Admiral," Dylan replied steadily. My soldiers train hard for precisely this kind of situation. Commander Lewis, thoughtful and impressed, added quietly, "We underestimated your capabilities. It won't happen again." Dylan nodded, respectfully satisfied but humble. "All we ask is the opportunity to do our part." Admiral Riley studied Dylan carefully, now fully understanding the disciplined strength hidden behind the human's quiet demeanor. Earth's small contribution suddenly seemed far more valuable. As Dylan returned to his quarters, Sergeant Martinez matched his stride. "Think they'll respect us now, Captain?" Olivia asked, her voice carrying a hint of satisfaction. Dylan smiled briefly, glancing toward the busy corridors filled with Alliance soldiers. "Respect comes with time, Sergeant," Dylan replied calmly. Today was only the beginning. Captain Dylan Brooks stood quietly near the outpost command center, looking over the rugged landscape outside. After their recent victory, the Alliance leaders had begun watching the humans closely. Dylan knew expectations were higher, but he remained calm. He trusted his soldiers. Sergeant Olivia Martinez walked up beside him, checking her equipment carefully. "We've got new orders," Olivia informed Dylan quietly. "Alliance Command wants us ready for another operation soon." Dylan nodded thoughtfully. "Did they say where?" "They mentioned another vulnerable outpost," Olivia explained. "This time deeper into contested territory." Dylan turned to face her fully, a serious expression crossing his face. "They're testing us further. Let's prepare well." Training intensified in the days that followed. Dylan and Olivia worked hard, ensuring every soldier was ready for the unknown. Challenges ahead. They drilled relentlessly, strengthening teamwork, tactics, and quick decision-making. Alliance soldiers often watched, increasingly impressed by human discipline and dedication. Soon, their preparations were complete, and Dylan's unit was deployed to the new location. The outpost was surrounded by mountains, making it an ideal defensive position, yet vulnerable if the enemy controlled the high ground. Lieutenant Sophia Adams greeted Dylan as they landed. Her expression was respectful and more confident now. "Captain Brooks," she began earnestly, "we need your team's quick thinking again. This outpost is critical, and Alliance Command specifically requested your unit." "Understood, Lieutenant," Dylan replied steadily. "We won't disappoint." Sophia showed Dylan and Olivia around the outpost. Together, they discussed defensive strategies and possible weaknesses. Dylan suggested careful placement of hidden defensive positions and rapid response units to counter enemy attacks swiftly. Days passed, and tension filled the air. Everyone remained vigilant, waiting anxiously. Late one night, alarms suddenly blared throughout the outpost. Draconian forces had been detected approaching fast. Dylan quickly organized his soldiers into their positions. From his observation post, Dylan watched enemy ships dropping troops onto the higher mountain ridges, trying to gain an advantage. Immediately, he signaled Olivia, who quickly directed a team up a hidden path to surprise and disrupt the enemy. At the same moment, Dylan ordered another group to secure crucial defensive locations, ensuring the Draconians couldn't advance easily. The human soldiers moved quietly and effectively, disciplined despite the chaos around them. Olivia and her unit soon reached the ridge, catching the enemy by surprise. Fierce, controlled fighting broke out, and human tactics swiftly overpowered the enemy soldiers. Olivia communicated back to Dylan clearly through the radio. "High ground secured," she confirmed calmly. "Excellent work," Dylan replied, quickly repositioning additional troops to strengthen their advantage. Meanwhile, Draconian forces attempted a direct assault on the outpost gates. Alliance soldiers initially struggled to hold them back, but Dylan swiftly brought additional human troops to support the defense. Their rapid-fire techniques and sharp accuracy began pushing the enemy back. Alliance soldiers watched, inspired by the courage and precision of the humans. With renewed morale, they fought bravely alongside Dylan's team. Gradually regaining control, Lieutenant Adams observed the situation closely from the command center. She quickly recognized the effectiveness of Dylan's leadership. "Captain Brooks," She spoke over the communication channel, admiration clear in her voice. Your strategy is working. Keep the pressure on. Acknowledged, Lieutenant, Dylan responded. Calmly, we're not letting them through. Gradually, the draconian attackers faltered. They were unprepared for the coordinated resistance led by the humans. Confusion spread through their ranks, and soon they retreated hastily, abandoning their wounded and weapons. As silence returned to the battlefield, Dylan walked among his soldiers, checking their condition personally. Everyone was exhausted, but unharmed. Sergeant Martinez approached, her face displaying quiet satisfaction. Looks like we proved ourselves again, Olivia remarked with a small smile. Dylan nodded thoughtfully. We're showing them humans can hold their own and more. Let's ensure everyone gets rest. Lieutenant Adams approached Dylan later, her eyes bright. With genuine respect. Captain, your unit has saved this outpost. You have Alliance Command's gratitude. Thank you, Lieutenant, Dylan replied humbly. It's teamwork. Every soldier here fought bravely. Sophia nodded, now fully convinced of human abilities. The Alliance needs soldiers like yours. You've shown us a new way of fighting. Dylan looked across the rugged terrain, seeing the aftermath of battle. Pride filled him, not just in victory, but in the quiet determination and courage of his team. He knew now the Alliance truly understood the value of Earth's small army. We'll be ready for whatever comes next, Dylan assured Sophia confidently, prepared for the challenges ahead. Captain Dylan Brooks and Sergeant Olivia Martinez stood quietly in the main briefing room of the Alliance flagship. Admiral Kevin Riley had gathered senior officers to review recent victories. Dylan noticed a clear change in the officers' attitudes. Respect replaced their earlier skepticism. Admiral Riley began the meeting by displaying images of recent battles. The large screen showed detailed pictures of human troops holding defensive lines and launching successful counterattacks. We initially underestimated Earth's small army, Admiral Riley admitted openly, looking directly at Dylan. Clearly, that was a mistake. Humans have demonstrated remarkable skill and bravery. Commander Emma Lewis, standing beside Riley, nodded in agreement. Your soldiers fight smartly, Captain Brooks, she added. Your methods deserve recognition. Thank you, Dylan replied modestly. We're proud to contribute to the Alliance. After the meeting, Lieutenant Sophia Adams approached Dylan and Olivia. Her eyes were bright with excitement. The Alliance leadership wants to see your training methods, Sophia explained eagerly. They think human tactics could help all our troops fight better. Dylan exchanged a quick glance with Olivia, both feeling encouraged. Of course, Dylan responded. We'll gladly share our approach. Within days, Dylan and Olivia began training. Soldiers from various alien species. At first, it was challenging. Alliance troops were used to relying heavily on advanced weapons and technology. The human way was different. It emphasized quick thinking, teamwork, and flexibility. Olivia patiently demonstrated battle maneuvers, showing how humans use simple but effective tactics. Dylan led exercise on how to respond swiftly in emergencies. Gradually, the soldiers understood and appreciated the benefits of these new strategies. One morning, General Aaron Carter observed their training session. Impressed, he approached Dylan afterward. Captain Brooks, General Carter said warmly, your training has already made a noticeable difference. Troops are working better together. Dylan felt pride in his soldiers and their training. Thank you, General, he replied. Our methods may seem simple, but they save lives. Just then, an urgent alert sounded through the ship. Everyone quickly moved to their stations, ready for action. Admiral Riley's voice soon announced the problem clearly. Draconian. Forces are attacking another outpost, Riley said firmly. We must respond immediately. The flagship sped quickly toward the threatened outpost. Dylan's unit prepared rapidly, checking their equipment carefully. Olivia gathered her squad, giving clear, calm instructions. As the ship approached, Dylan saw the heavy fighting below. Draconian forces had nearly broken through the outpost defenses. Dylan and Olivia quickly discussed a plan with Sophia. "We'll drop in behind enemy lines," Dylan explained confidently. "They won't expect a sudden attack from that direction." Sophia agreed immediately, trusting Dylan's judgment fully. "I'll organize covering fire for your drop." Within minutes, Dylan and Olivia's team descended swiftly toward the planet's surface. Despite intense enemy fire, their landing was precise and disciplined. Human soldiers moved quickly, establishing positions behind the Draconians, caught completely by surprise. The Draconians became confused and disorganized. Olivia skillfully led her team, creating further disruption. Dylan coordinated closely, moving his unit rapidly, attacking critical enemy positions. Alliance troops inside the outpost saw the sudden shift in battle and rallied strongly. General Carter, watching from orbit, directed additional reinforcements. Impressed by human initiative and bravery, Draconian commanders realized they had lost control. Their soldiers retreated hastily, abandoning their equipment and injured. Human troops pursued briefly, ensuring the area was fully secure. Later, back aboard the flagship, Dylan, Olivia, and their exhausted soldiers rested briefly. Sophia joined them, gratitude evident on her face. "You saved many lives today," she said earnestly. "The Alliance owes you much." "We're just glad to help," Dylan responded quietly. Today showed clearly why teamwork matters. News of the humans' bravery spread quickly throughout the Alliance. Soldiers from different worlds began respecting and trusting the human troops fully. Training sessions became even more popular, with Alliance members eager to learn from Earth's small army. Admiral Riley called Dylan and Olivia to his office privately soon after. His manner was warm and genuine. "Captain, Sergeant," Riley began sincerely, "the Alliance now recognizes the great value Earth soldiers bring. We deeply appreciate your efforts." Dylan replied respectfully, "Thank you, Admiral. We only want to do our part." Riley smiled, nodding firmly. "You have done far more. You've shown us all a new way of fighting, effective and courageous. The Alliance is stronger because of you." Leaving the Admiral's office, Dylan and Olivia walked silently, reflecting on their journey. Once underestimated and ignored, humans were now recognized as true heroes. Their small army had proven itself, earning a lasting place in the Alliance. Captain Dylan Brooks stood at the command center aboard the Alliance flagship, carefully reviewing recent intelligence reports. Sergeant Olivia Martinez stood beside him, closely studying the detailed maps. Their latest victories had brought respect and trust from the Alliance. However, Dylan knew the toughest battles were still ahead. Admiral Kevin Riley entered the room, followed closely by Commander Emma Lewis. Both officers seemed serious and focused. "Captain Brooks," Admiral Riley began directly, "we have new information. Draconian forces are gathering for a major attack. We believe they intend to strike one of our central planets." Dylan absorbed the news calmly. He had expected something big from the enemy soon. "Do we have specific details yet, Admiral?" "We know their fleet is assembling quickly," Riley answered, pointing at the display screen. "They seem confident they can overwhelm us." Commander Lewis stepped forward, clearly worried. This attack could decide the outcome of the war. "We need your help planning our defenses, Captain." "We're ready to assist," Dylan said firmly, glancing briefly at Olivia, who nodded confidently. Over the next days, Dylan and Olivia worked closely with Alliance officers, developing detailed defensive strategies. They emphasized coordination, rapid deployment, and the ability to adapt quickly to unexpected changes. Alliance soldiers listened carefully, trusting fully in human methods. The alert came sooner than expected. Draconian ships had suddenly launched their attack, targeting the heavily populated planet Vega Prime. Dylan's unit quickly mobilized, boarding their ships with practiced efficiency. As they reached Vega Prime, fierce battles erupted in orbit. And on the surface, Draconian troops pressed hard, determined to break the Alliance's resistance quickly. Dylan quickly assessed the situation, guiding his team toward critical positions. Landing on the planet, human soldiers immediately began defending key locations. Sergeant Martinez led several small teams, expertly countering enemy tactics. Dylan coordinated closely with Alliance forces, rapidly deploying units wherever they were needed most. At a critical moment, enemy troops attempted to breach the planet's main defense headquarters. Dylan swiftly moved to intercept them, his team fighting bravely and effectively. Alliance troops joined, inspired by the humans' courage. Alliance Commander Lieutenant Sophia Adams coordinated closely with Dylan, clearly trusting his leadership. "Captain, can you hold that position? Reinforcements are coming," she called over the communicator. "We'll hold," Dylan answered confidently, calmly directing his troops to defensive positions. Minutes stretched into tense hours as fierce fighting continued. Draconian soldiers attacked repeatedly, but each time human troops, supported by Alliance soldiers, stood firm. Slowly, enemy assaults weakened, morale crumbling as their losses increased. Finally, Draconian commanders realized they could not achieve their goal. Retreat orders echoed across enemy communication channels. Human troops, disciplined and focused, maintained their positions cautiously, ensuring no surprises. Exhausted but victorious, Dylan and Olivia regrouped with their soldiers. Lieutenant Adams soon joined them, clearly relieved and deeply grateful. "Your bravery today saved this planet," Sophia said earnestly. "The Alliance owes Earth soldiers an enormous debt." Dylan shook his head humbly. This was a team victory. Every soldier, human or otherwise, played their part. Back on the flagship, Admiral Riley personally congratulated Dylan and Olivia. His respect was clear and genuine. "Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez," Riley began warmly, "today you've shown us once again that your small army can achieve incredible things. The Alliance has learned much from your example." "We're proud to serve," Dylan replied simply. "Our strength has always been teamwork and discipline." Commander Lewis joined them, admiration clearly visible in her expression. "Humans have set a new standard for Alliance troops. You've changed the way we fight, making us stronger than ever." "Thank you, Commander," Dylan said sincerely. Appreciating the acknowledgement. In the days following the battle, news spread quickly about the humans' remarkable performance. Soldiers across the Alliance shared stories of human bravery and skill. Respect for Earth continued to grow, solidifying strong bonds among allied races. Training sessions led by Dylan and Olivia became highly sought after. Soldiers eagerly learned human tactics, recognizing their effectiveness in battle. Earth's small army was no longer underestimated or dismissed. Dylan watched with quiet pride as the Alliance grew stronger, united by trust and cooperation. The battles ahead might still be difficult, but they faced them together with confidence and resolve. Late one evening, Sergeant Martinez approached Dylan thoughtfully. "Captain, did you ever imagine we'd reach this point?" Olivia asked softly. Dylan smiled slightly, considering their journey carefully. "No," he admitted honestly, "but I always believed in our soldiers." "They believe in us too," Olivia added with quiet pride. "We've earned that trust." Dylan nodded in agreement, knowing their small army had truly made a difference. Captain Dylan Brooks stood quietly aboard the Alliance flagship, watching a new group of soldiers prepare for training. Sergeant Olivia Martinez was busy instructing troops from various planets, demonstrating human battle techniques clearly and patiently. Dylan felt proud, seeing how eagerly the alien soldiers followed Olivia's instructions. Admiral Kevin Riley approached Dylan slowly, his eyes showing respect and gratitude. "Captain," Admiral Riley began warmly, "the Alliance now relies heavily on human tactics. Your small army has truly changed our strategy." "Thank you, Admiral," Dylan replied humbly. "We're glad to contribute however we can." Commander Emma Lewis joined them, her expression serious. "We have another major battle approaching. Draconian forces are regrouping. They're planning a large-scale attack near the Sigma star system." Dylan understood immediately. "We'll be ready," he assured her confidently. In the days following, preparations intensified. Dylan and Olivia worked closely with Alliance commanders, fine-tuning strategies. They emphasized teamwork, clear communication, and quick response. Alliance troops trained hard, determined to master human combat methods. Finally, the alert came. Draconian ships were moving rapidly toward the Sigma system. Dylan's unit was quickly deployed alongside Alliance forces. As their ships approached the battlefield, Dylan saw how determined his soldiers looked. Their confidence encouraged him. Landing swiftly, Dylan's troops quickly took defensive positions. Sergeant Martinez led her group expertly, preparing ambush points and reinforcing defenses. Dylan coordinated closely with Lieutenant Sophia Adams, directing units strategically across the battlefield. When the Draconians attacked, the fighting was fierce. Enemy soldiers advanced boldly, determined to overpower the Alliance quickly. Dylan calmly ordered his troops into action, ensuring they held firm and worked together effectively. Olivia's team faced heavy attacks but held their ground bravely. Using precise fire and coordinated movements, they slowed the enemy advance significantly. Dylan provided constant support, guiding additional troops swiftly whenever help was needed. At one critical moment, Draconian forces nearly breached a vital defensive point. Dylan quickly rushed additional troops there, personally leading the defense. His calm, clear leadership inspired the soldiers around him. "Hold firm," Dylan called steadily. "We have this position secured." Alliance soldiers, inspired by Dylan's determination, rallied courageously. They fought alongside humans, reinforcing trust and teamwork. Slowly, the Draconian advance faltered under sustained resistance. Meanwhile, Olivia noticed enemy troops attempting a sneak attack from another direction. Swiftly, she repositioned her soldiers, intercepting the Draconians expertly. Her quick thinking prevented a serious threat, saving many lives. As the battle continued, Dylan and Olivia maintained their focus, steadily overcoming challenges. The Draconians eventually realized their assault was failing, their morale dropping. Quickly, Alliance reinforcements arrived, further weakening enemy forces. Finally, the Draconian commanders ordered a full retreat. Human and Alliance troops carefully secured the area, ensuring no further threats remained. Exhausted but victorious, Dylan and Olivia regrouped their troops. Everyone was relieved and proud of their accomplishment. Lieutenant Sophia Adams approached. Then soon after, gratitude clearly visible on her face. "Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez," Sophia said earnestly, "you've again shown exceptional bravery and skill. The Alliance owes much to Earth's small army." "We're proud to serve," Dylan replied sincerely. "Everyone here fought bravely." Back aboard the flagship, Admiral Riley praised Dylan and Olivia personally. He addressed the entire Alliance leadership gathered in the large conference room. "The contributions of Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez, and their troops have been extraordinary," Riley said firmly. "They've proven repeatedly that Earth's small army possesses incredible skill and courage." Commander Lewis added thoughtfully, "Their tactics have changed our entire approach. We're stronger and more united because of their example." Alliance leaders expressed agreement, clearly impressed by human bravery and effectiveness. Dylan felt deep pride in his soldiers, knowing their hard work and discipline had truly made a difference. Later, Dylan and Olivia stood quietly, reflecting on their journey. Sergeant Martinez looked thoughtfully at the bustling activity around them. "Did you ever imagine we'd be here, Captain?" Olivia asked quietly. "I always believed in our soldiers," Dylan replied calmly. "But seeing this level of respect from the Alliance is something truly special." "They trust us fully now," Olivia remarked with satisfaction. "We've truly proven ourselves." Dylan nodded in agreement, feeling optimistic about the future. The Alliance, stronger now because of human bravery and teamwork, would face future challenges confidently. Together, Dylan and Olivia watched Alliance soldiers train enthusiastically, using the tactics they had taught. Earth's small army was no longer dismissed, but admired their courage, inspiring countless others throughout the galaxy. Captain Dylan Brooks stood in the main strategy room, carefully reviewing recent battle reports alongside Sergeant Olivia Martinez. After their latest victory, the Alliance had fully embraced human methods. Now, Dylan and Olivia were central to the Alliance's military planning. Admiral Kevin Riley entered the room, Commander Emma Lewis beside him. Both officers appeared concerned, signaling that trouble was ahead. Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez. Admiral Riley began directly. We have urgent news. Draconian forces are launching a desperate attack. They aim to destroy our core planets. Dylan absorbed the seriousness of the situation calmly. How soon do we expect them, Admiral? Within days, Commander Lewis answered firmly. We need every advantage we can get. Your methods will be crucial. We'll be ready, Dylan assured them confidently, glancing toward Olivia, who nodded firmly. In the following days, preparations intensified rapidly. Dylan and Olivia led extensive training sessions, emphasizing swift, decisive action and tight teamwork. Alliance soldiers listened closely, determined to master the techniques fully. The alert sounded sooner than expected. Draconian ships had begun their final assault, targeting multiple Alliance planets simultaneously. Dylan's troops immediately boarded their ships, disciplined, and prepared. As they reached the battlefront near the key planet Orion Prime, Dylan observed the fierce combat below. Enemy forces were heavily attacking key defensive positions. He quickly assessed the battlefield, directing his troops with precision. Landing swiftly, Dylan coordinated closely with Lieutenant Sophia Adams, carefully placing troops in strategic locations. Sergeant Martinez took charge of a critical defensive sector, expertly guiding her soldiers into position. Enemy attacks intensified rapidly, testing Alliance defenses severely. Dylan maintained calm, ordering precise counterattacks and steady reinforcements. Alliance soldiers, inspired by human discipline, fought bravely, holding the lines despite heavy pressure. Olivia led her troops firmly, responding quickly to each threat. When enemy forces attempted to breach her position, her team countered decisively, pushing attackers back repeatedly. Stay strong, Olivia encouraged her soldiers calmly. We're holding this ground. Meanwhile, Dylan directed another key area of defense. Enemy troops pushed hard, determined to break through. Dylan kept his soldiers focused, reinforcing positions carefully. Alliance troops, following his example, responded bravely, strengthening their lines effectively. Lieutenant Adams continuously communicated with Dylan, ensuring coordination between various units. Her respect and trust were evident in every instruction. Captain Brooks, Sophia called urgently. Enemy forces are moving to flank you. Understood, Dylan responded calmly, immediately adjusting troop positions to counter the threat. The fighting continued intensely, each side determined to win. Gradually, however, the disciplined and united Alliance forces gained the advantage. Human troops' precise tactics steadily pushed the Draconians back, weakening their attack significantly. Realizing defeat was near, Draconian commanders ordered a retreat. Their ships hastily withdrew, leaving many soldiers stranded and defeated. On the battlefield, Dylan and Olivia cautiously secured the area, ensuring full control. As silence returned to the battlefield, Dylan regrouped with his exhausted soldiers. Everyone felt relief and pride in their victory. Lieutenant Adams quickly joined them, gratitude clearly in her voice. Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez, Sophia began warmly, the Alliance's survival depended on your bravery today. You saved countless lives. It was a team effort, Dylan responded modestly. Every soldier here fought with incredible courage. Back aboard the flagship, Admiral Riley praised Dylan and Olivia personally. Standing before Alliance leaders, he addressed them sincerely. Today's victory belongs to Captain Brooks, Sergeant Martinez, and their remarkable troops, Riley announced firmly. Human bravery and skill have secured our future. Commander Lewis spoke next, clearly emotional. The humans' tactics and courage have shown us true strength. We are forever grateful. Alliance officers applauded warmly, fully acknowledging human contributions. Dylan felt deep satisfaction seeing his soldiers finally receiving the recognition they deserved. Later, Dylan and Olivia reflected quietly on their journey. Sergeant Martinez smiled, clearly proud. "Our soldiers proved themselves again," Olivia remarked softly. "The Alliance trusts us completely now." "Yes," Dylan agreed thoughtfully, "we've shown them what humans can truly achieve." Looking across the ship, Dylan saw Alliance troops enthusiastically practicing human methods, fully committed and inspired. The Alliance, now unified and strengthened by Earth's small army, was ready for any future challenges. "We've changed their perception forever," Olivia said, her voice filled with quiet pride. "We've shown them our strength," Dylan agreed. "Now we stand together, stronger than ever." Together, Dylan and Olivia continued watching proudly, knowing they had helped build a powerful united alliance that could face any threat confidently.